Hello and good morning. This is Surfline lead forecaster Kirk Corte taking a look at what we have going on across the Western Atlantic. Lots of surf up and down the East Coast, over in the Gulf, and down in the Caribbean. But we'll start up in the Northeast where this nor'easter is impacting the area. We have some solid surf up in Maine in that top left there, top left view in our multicam perspective. You can see some snow in the background. Pretty cool looking view, but the surf's pretty out of control. Top right is Matunic. A little bit of some dicey winds for parts of Rhode Island, but Matunic doing okay. Higher tide, so looking a little bit soft and kind of challenging with the strength of those winds, but a couple people out there trying to get it a go. As you can see, that guy going straight. But some solid surf there. Again, challenging conditions with the temperatures, the snow, and the wind. Bottom left is our Lido cam, Lido Beach in Long Island. Solid surf there. Higher tide. Again, maybe slowing down things just a bit, but plenty of swell, offshore winds, and again, pretty challenging conditions. Rockaway 90th there on the bottom right. Lots of waves, clean conditions. Head high to overhead surf. Dropping tide this afternoon. Might lose a little bit of size later in the day, but still going to be pretty much pumping if you have the ability to get out there and trust your gear to keep you warm because it is pretty chilly. We'll take a look further south. There's a system that's impacting us is also providing some surf for a variety of locations. So we'll switch Maine over to West Florida here, leaning a little bit warmer, but some northwest wind swell for breaks along the west coast of Florida today. But a standout actually for the state is actually down into the Palm Beach area. We have the Juno Beach Pier. Down here, we'll switch this over to one of our Delray cams where you can see some pretty gusty offshore winds and some wind swell. Lots of lefts coming through. Got some pictures from one of our forecasters there, John Warren, definitely on it and getting some good waves. And finally, also some surf down into South Beach. A little bit smaller there, but again, clean conditions, nice pack out, as you can see here on our South Beach cam. Lots of waves out there today. So again, take advantage of it. A lot of chilly, cold, winter type surf up in the northeastern U.S. Fun waves, but kind of windy down into parts of Florida. But all in all, here we are, the second day of February, and we got lots of waves for much of the East Coast, so we got to take advantage. One thing I did want to point out here was actually how this system is actually impacting our winds and conditions down in the Caribbean, of all places. As you can see, our satellite imagery here, we have a strong low pressure system impacting the northeastern U.S. You can see the frontal boundary indicated by that long line of white clouds there. It extends from Hispaniola all the way up through the western Atlantic, past Bermuda, and up into Nova Scotia. That's the cold front associated with this system. And actually, up ahead of that system, we have some southerly winds, and that's impacting our conditions for parts of the Caribbean. Lola wave height animation, again, showing lots of swell from this system over the next few days. It's going to fill into the Caribbean here later on this week. Check the forecast for details on that. But I did want to look at the actual cameras over in Puerto Rico. Specifically, look at the Maria's cam. Now, if you think back to this weekend, it was absolutely bombing there. We had a really big, one of the bigger north-northwest swells we've seen over the past few years, and strong northeast trade winds. So for Maria's, that's actually offshore. But today, because we have those southerly winds, it's pretty hacked up there on the west side of the coast. A little bit cleaner on it, head on to the other side of the point in Rincon. We see some people surfing on our Princess cam. Pretty fun conditions there. Also some solid surf up into parts of the North Coast. This is our Hobos cam on the bottom left. I just switched it over to. So some fun waves there. And actually, this is some leftover swell from that system or a series of systems that impacted the Atlantic and sent swell down to the Caribbean during the weekend, and some solid surf even yesterday. And that's come down in size some today. So a little bit more approachable for the everyday surfer because it was pretty big over the weekend there. So that kind of limited the amount of spots. When you have big swells there and the strong trade winds, you kind of get limited into a certain number of zones and can get a little bit crowded. So it's nice when you have this nice swell size and pretty widespread decent conditions. There are some pretty good waves down there today still. Going forward, you're going to want to take a look at your Surfline premium analysis, those regional forecast pages for details on how much swell we expect to linger into the middle part of the week if you're along the East Coast or Gulf Coast, and also how this system is going to send swell down to the Caribbean later on in the week. I'm lead forecaster Kirk Corte. Again, we've been using our multicam tool. You can find that up in the top left part of the Surfline website. Great way to get some situational awareness and kind of get a feel for how things are going across your area.